Sivalingam Anu. Thank you for coming to my channel Atharamadiyawa for two reasons. One is you're among the very few people who translate directly from Sinhala to Tamil. And as a translator myself, I want to ask you the dynamics, what the problems are or what the pleasures are of doing that. And secondly, I also want to ask you whether you're able to give us some insight into Sri Lankan Tamil writers and writing. Because my first program with Chulananda Samaranayaka, we were both discussing and we both came up with your name. And we said, we hardly know the people who write in Tamil in our own country. Like, for example, I might know British writers or American writers, but because I don't speak Tamil, my own countrymen who write in that language, I don't know of. So at least a brief glimpse of, how much writing gets done, how many women write, what kind of, I wouldn't ask you what kind of writing, but just even the kind of writers we have, it will be a very welcome insight into people who listen to this program. So we'll start there, Anu, right? You're actually Anusha, no? Do I call you Anu? You're known as Sivalingam Anu.
Sivalingam Anu.
Yes. Could you give me a very brief introduction of yourself, Anu? Are you the translator?
Sure. And
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for inviting me for this particular interview. I think, I'll introduce myself first. I am Sivalingam Anusha, and so many people called me as Sivalingam Anu. I am currently working as a lecturer in the field of literature and mass media in Sri Pali campus, University of Colombo. And also I work as a visiting lecturer in the field of mass media in University of Perodeniya in Tamil medium. And also I have translated 4 literary translations to Sinhala and Tamil also, but I was able to publish only 2 translations, one for Sinhala and one for Tamil. So
what was the name,
actually,
what were the 4 books that you translated?
Yeah. So first book is I translated to Sinhala from Tamil, written by Sivarasa Karunaharan, who lived in Kilinochchi in my native place. And it was on the life of Kilinochchi people, the life of North people before the war, during the war, and also after the war. So my translated book name was Mathaka Vaniya. Then secondly, I translated Tara Mage Devduwa.
That's Nisanka Vijayamana's Tara Mage
Devduwa. Written
What
by the great writer Nishanka Vijayamana. I translated, yeah. Actually, I translated that book to Tamil language, and fortunately, and I won the state award and Godage Literary Award for my first translation, which I did to Tamil language. Then I translated Uli Kalam, written by Tamil Kavi Amma, who live in Kilinochchi, also in my native place. That book is on actually the life of the people during the war period, especially about displacement of people.
Who is the writer, Anu? Who is
Tamil Kavi. She is living in Kilinochchi. But I couldn't publish the book yet, and then it is in print. And also I actually recently I translated 10 short stories from Sinhala literature to Tamil language, and it will be published as soon as possible because of the situation in the country.
Okay, shortage.
10 short
Yes.
stories from 10 writers, actually. I mean, so many people are very young and who talk about the various topics on gender, sexuality, sexual education, and the inequality, and also the aloneness, something like that. And
I know
also,
the choice
yeah,
you did it on your own. You chose the 10
yeah,
writers.
yeah, I choose. Yeah. I
Can
mean,
you?
that is the special thing which I discussed the point in today with one of my friends. Actually, I didn't do any translations. I mean, I mean, from the perspectives of the writers or something, because I mean, all translations books are selected by myself only, right? No one asked to translate this particular their book to whatever language. That the I think that the I think it's the speciality in my translation. I really feel honestly.
Okay, Anu, I want you to
And
repeat
yeah,
repeat the first book you translated from Tamil to Sinhala. What was the name?
Mathakavaniya.
Okay, okay,
It
right.
was little bit famous during the published period.
Okay. Anu, there are so few writers, which is like surprising for a small country where two languages live
Hmm.
side by side. The fact that so
Yeah.
many people are either monolingual at a good, on the
Hmm.
good side, bilingual, but very few are trilingual. And I would put you and, people like Swaminathan Vimal as very few who actually can speak and work in both Sinhala and Tamil. How did
Yeah.
you manage to learn Sinhala, Anu, when you were growing up? How did that
Uh,
happen?
Actually, I learned Sinhala and Sinhala literature during my school time after my displacement. Then actually I learned Sinhala, not very much about the grammar of the Sinhala language, but I was very interested for learning literature, Sinhala literature. Then, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. And the
So,
Tamil is my mother tongue. No?
yes.
Then I use everything in my mother tongue. And yeah.
And when you say displacement, exactly from where to where was that?
Actually, in my childhood, not from some several places. Actually, I mean, remembering the particular situation. I mean, like displacement is really hard to remark. I mean, really hard to feel. I mean, if you can ask someone, especially in, Uh, like in a person in north or east or whatever, and the particular person has displaced for several area, not only for one area or particular area. Yeah, and so many people, they have been, several schools and something like that because of the situation.
Exactly. Ayadure Santan uses the same word. He talks about that displacement, and that is part of our history,
Yeah.
sadly. Anu, like, do you put your own thoughts into creative work? Have you written any original novels by yourself?
not not novels, but I have written some poems, actually poetry, and I can remember a particular poem which written by myself, has translated to Nepal language on the actually feeling of the war. which I written, and and some songs as a lyrics writer, likewise.
Have you been published as here in Sinhala, your original work?
Yeah, publish. But especially for poetry and the lyrics also, I mean, I think I'm very good in Tamil language, not in Sinhala language, because
Naturally.
it is connecting with the feeling of something. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you write in Tamil and your songs and poetry as well?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
And you have been published in Tamil?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Anu, tell me what is the writing scene like? Forgive me for the basicness of this question. This should not be even something I ask because I should know this, right?
Okay.
But what is the Tamil writing scene like in Sri Lanka? Are there young girls writing a lot? Like, do you have senior writers? Or
Yeah.
is it very
I
closely
mean,
connected with South India? What is the publication like?
yeah, very good question for the people actually. There are so many writers. There were so many writers in the beginning of the history actually, and because of the several situations, so many writers and creative persons, they have migrated for several countries, no, because of the war and the conflict, and very much during the 83 riots actually, right? And
In fact, many have
but
gone.
however,
Let me interrupt
they
you.
are involved.
Anu,
Many
many
writers.
English writers have gone and made a name for themselves quite strongly in the West. The yes,
Exactly, because that's why I was trying to say,
absolutely.
but they are in the process of writing very strongly as diasporic writers or creative
Yes,
persons,
yes.
likewise. And but the thing is, in Sri Lanka also, we are facing so many issues for publishing our writing, something like that, because no one, very honestly come to help for the writers, because of the
Anu, sometimes your signal gets a bit
so
interrupted.
normally the to print our books, and some
So, Anu,
yeah.
let me because you
So what
were
I'm
not.
trying to say is,
No, you were
okay,
not clear for some time, so I'm going to repeat that. Now, at the
okay.
moment, Sri Lanka is facing a publication crisis because of the lack of paper and all that, right? Yeah. Let's leave that.
Exactly, but
Let's,
not only the particular present situation,
yes.
right?
Okay.
We have faced so many difficulties before the Sri Lankan crisis also.
How many publishers of Tamil literature are there in Sri Lanka?
I think good question. Uh, I can remember now there are not more than 10, not more than 5, something
I see.
like that.
I see. So, like,
So many books are published by Indian publishers,
that's the
and
thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah,
So there's a huge competition with South India, right?
yeah,
So my next question is,
competition and the situation also.
my next
We
question
can't do
is,
anything, no. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
My question is, Anu, like if a Sri Lankan Tamil book is published by Sri
Hmm.
Lankan publishers, do you get a chance to sell that in Tamil Nadu or is it only restricted to Sri Lanka?
No, we can sell in Tamil Nadu, and in several countries. Tamils are everywhere, no?
Yes.
Then, yeah.
So there is a
Recently,
market.
I sent my Tara Mage Devduwa Tamil translation for Canada.
I see.
Last week. Yeah.
Yes, what a superb ambassador that would have been. I love that story. So, Anu,
Yes.
so is the Indian publication industry like,
Hmm.
is it competing with the Sri Lankan publishers as well? Or do Sri Lankans give their books to Indian publishing houses? Does that
No, I
happen?
think only Sri Lankan writers are giving their books for Indian publishers to
They do
print
give.
and publishing. Yeah,
I see. Sri Lankan Tamil writers give their books to Indian publishers.
Indian publishers. Yes,
Right. And they sell it in Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka.
and Sri Lanka, and also in other countries as well,
Good. Okay. How many?
especially in London, Australia,
Yes,
likewise.
correct. And Anu, how many young women like you write? Sri Lankan young
Sorry,
women.
I
Do young
can't
women
follow
like you?
you.
Are there many young
Can
women?
you repeat the question again?
Yes. Are there many young women
Uh,
who write in
yeah.
Tamil in Sri Lanka?
Uh, I mean, I mean, when I think the limit of my age, like there are few young women writers, but there are some. I mean, when compared with young writers, there are some bit of. I mean, more. Like no, I'm not I'm not okay to use the term of old or something. I mean,
But you can say senior.
some women writers,
Yeah.
yeah,
Senior
seniors,
writers.
yeah, there are some senior writers.
Have they
Yeah,
been translated
especially
into
uh
Sinhala or
sorry.
English? Have they been translated into Sinhala or English?
Mm, I mean, very less, very less,
Quite
very less.
sad, no? It's such a sad thing.
Quite sad, yes, because I mean translations are very important, no? Because to understanding the particular ideology of the writing to another community. I mean, yeah, very sad on it.
Absolutely. So let's go to the other young men. And when you say young men, you realize that
Yeah,
different
yeah. There, when compared with female writers, there are, so many young men. Yeah.
and it's quite a risk because recently we have, like, for example, if you're a Muslim, and we had
Yeah.
a case of a Muslim poet being jailed for what he wrote. So there's a lot
Yes,
of
yes, yes.
danger. But nevertheless, are there
Not the reason of what he wrote, because that people couldn't understand the language properly. I mean, actually, to be honest, I helped him to translate particular like poems for the court purpose or something. And actually he totally against the concept of terrorism and the hegemony of the Muslim overall Muslim culture, and also the Sri Lankan context, right? He has against the particular idea, and also he against the ISIS, and likewise, right? I mean, the language problem is still in our country, because
yes. And
yeah.
the tragedy is, Anu, because of that, a man had to spend so much time behind bars simply because we could not understand the nuances of the language. We hadn't bothered to learn it, and someone else paid the price. Someone else paid the price. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah.
So so young men also write quite a lot, right? And when we say
Yeah.
Tamil writers, it includes Muslim people and
In
Tamil
not
people.
only from exactly, not only in Jaffna and north and east, right? Especially, when someone asks this particular question, so many people are only thinking about the writers who involve in writing in Jaffna, right? When think about the situation of think about the Tamil literature in Sri Lanka. But the thing is, so many writers in Vanni and also in North, and and also East, and especially in Muslim community, and also the people in who live in upcountry areas, and
Absolutely.
so many writers, and so
Absolutely.
many ideologies, so many
Yeah.
approaches, so many perspectives.
I've
Yeah.
read a very good analysis by Professor Nuhuman. about Sri
Yes.
Lankan Tamil writing, where he captures all the gamut that you just explained. So when you say Tamil writing, all those people come in, and I really, one of the
Yeah.
deepest regrets I have.
But ideologies and identities are different.
Absolutely. But nevertheless, they come under the bracket of Tamil literature. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
Anu, what are the particular, I'm getting into translation now.
Okay.
Before we get that, around how much of the Tamil writing that's happening now gets translated? Less than 1% even.
Um, I mean, like, I think, let me to think. Good question. Like, mm, I think 1 or 2 percentage,
Sadly, no?
something like,
Yes.
yeah.
Would Tamil writers be reading more Sinhala than
Uh,
Sinhala people reading Tamil? These are just guesses, huh? This is not data. Oh,
okay. We can just guess it, no?
only
Yeah.
guesses.
Yeah.
So maybe not many Tamil people read Sinhala fiction also, or poetry.
No, some Tamil people are reading Sinhala literature. Yeah,
Maybe more than us reading the Tamil people. No?
especially when think about the writers or the people, general people in upcountry areas and also the Muslim community, they can easily read Sinhala literature. Yeah,
Exactly. Yes, that's
but
true.
now fortunately, North people also can somewhat read. Yeah, I mean, so many people can
We,
now
we should. It's just a Sinhala people really have to buck up
they
and learn
can
Tamil.
yeah, they can understand the writing, Sinhala writing little
Yes,
bit.
good. Anu, now I'll come to your own process of translation, right?
Okay,
You
okay.
answered it. One question I wanted to ask: how do you choose what to write? And you actually answered by saying things that you like. No,
Yeah. I like, and also um, what are the literature in written in the ideology of which I believe for the social change or something. Yeah.
because Saramage Devdu is actually a search. No, search for history, covering up history. It's such an allegorical and
Yeah.
beautifully
Yeah.
written novel. And
Especially on discrimination
yes,
as minorities and the psychological part as well,
and
how
also
affect for
feminist.
a child. Yeah,
Exactly.
also
Feminism
through
is
the
also
feminist
there. He's a very good
exactly.
writer on these topics,
Yes.
covering up of history, the
Hmm.
way we erase it. So Nisanka, he lives particularly in a
I
Muslim
can
area.
remember, I read that particular book within 4 or 5 hours. Like, I mean, very difficult. I was feel like difficult. I mean, difficult or something. But however, I read it because of the feeling of the book, actually, because that, I mean, though some kind of experiences are really very similar for my life, actually, because after my displacement I faced some, I mean, very similar experience like Tara. So I mean, that was the reason to engage with the book and uh, you know yeah.
I know that's good. Yes. What are the particular issues that you have to remember when you translate from Sinhala to Tamil? I'll ask that first. Like, what are the differences? Because translation is a cultural maneuver, no?
Sinhala to
Tamil first.
Tamil, no?
Yes.
You
What are
ask?
the issues that
Okay.
strike you as being
Sinhala
particularly
to Tamil.
difficult? Yes. Then I'm going to ask you Tamil to Sinhala.
Um,
So,
yeah. Then, I mean, there are so much of I mean, so much different issues. One thing I can say like, I mean, from when I do the translation from Sinhala to Tamil, because so I mean historical things, I mean historical words, I mean I face some difficulties to translate particular words because the not I mean we are not translating a word, no, I mean we are translating meanings of the word. So then we need to go for a go for a big history to read, and something like that. When compared with the Tamil language, personally I face some difficulties, and otherwise, I mean, I'm not feeling very much differences between these two languages, because but honestly I'm not very much involving, or very much I mean okay with the culture of Sinhala, honestly, because I mean that was the I mean that is the main issue I faced, right? Which I am facing, and for when compared with Tamil culture, I mean I'm okay, but the thing is, culture is a big context, no? When I come, I mean when I am doing a particular text on text on a particular culture, which is very I mean very separately, or I mean very I mean like I can't I can't say the feeling actually. I mean the cultural contexts are different, no? Like if I am translating a culture or a text on which written under the context of caste, or maybe the Muslim culture, like the sometimes from the life of upcountry people, and also the culture I mean which I mean like also in north, like I mean we are not we are not okay with I mean all cultures, no, right? So then I face some difficulties,
Yeah.
but
How do you,
I'm very much okay to translating the culture of myself, like the Bani culture. I can
so
say
that
like that,
Tamil to Sinhala,
and
Tamil to Sing,
and
Anu,
also
Anu,
yeah,
Tamil to Sinhala is slightly easier for you, therefore, when you
Tamil
translate
Tamil
Tamil to
Tamil
Sinhala,
to Sinhala.
is that
The
easier for
thing
you?
is,
Mm.
understanding part is somewhat okay, right? The thing is, written part, I mean, it will be an issue again.
Again,
I
same
mean,
thing. Mm.
yeah, issue
Mm.
again. I mean, all people are facing these kind of issues. The thing is, we need a time. We need a big time to understand all the context, all the meanings, all the history, something like that. Yeah, that is the
So
situation. Compare with, yeah,
I'm guessing you must be doing quite a lot of research, no? When
yeah,
you are dealing with that kind of difficulty, because translation is
ex-
actually cultural transfer,
yeah,
not word transfer. So you
yes.
must be then looking for other sources to educate
E-
yourself
e-
into that as well.
exactly. I, the honestly, I'm trying to research on, the culture and political, economic aspects of the people, and from several approaches. Likewise,
Excellent. I know now, given the fact that so few are doing this in your work as a university lecturer, are you
hmm.
training others in your skill, or is there a problem because you don't find trilingual people, or at least people who know Sinhala and Tamil?
I mean, no, nothing.
There's no people like that, no, who know Sinhala
Yeah,
and Tamil.
exactly. I mean, people are not interesting for the particular field also, and they are not. fine with the languages. They are not bilingual.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the Sinhala Tamil bilinguality is as big a problem as the Sinhala English or Tamil English bilinguality.
Exactly.
And it's very sad.
Even I think, even, like people are not okay with their own language also, no? When, when going to teach in a particular language, through a particular language, like Sinhala or Tamil, they are not, very much okay with their own language also.
I think
Right?
Chulananda said the
They
same
don't
thing.
have any, yeah, they don't have any enthusiasm or something to learn their language, right? Otherwise, how we can think about the bilingualism or something in the context, no?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think
Also people, I think I just feel like, people, they don't need to learn the history. Learn the meaning of the birds or something. And yeah, the education system is that is the problem. Like, I mean, the system is like katapadam karanawa or something that we can call like that, no? Students are expecting to get all of things from a teacher or lecturer or a person or something. They need to just put their knowledge for a paper and something like that.
I absolutely agree with you that that's a problem in school and sadly even in university. You might be
Yeah,
a
sad.
few,
Yeah, in
yeah,
university also.
few passionate people who, think of language as a passion, but
Yeah.
not many. I agree with you there.
Yes, yes.
Anu, so before I end, what are your plans for the future? Anything else you're thinking of translating or what are your plans?
Um,
I know you did an academic work on Sri Lankan Tamil films.
Tamil cinema.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
that's an academic research work, right?
Yes, exactly. I spent more than 4 years to find those information because it was totally, we can say like that, totally hidden history.
And that
Yes,
history actually has a strong link with Sinhala cinema as well, no? That also we have
exactly,
forgotten, no?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Not only link with the Sinhala cinema or Sinhala people or Sinhala culture, and also link with the Moor community,
I see,
Muslim
linguistic
people. Yeah,
community. I see. So you wrote that in Sinhala.
Sinhala and also Tamil. But
Tamil.
I published only Sinhala version
I see. Okay.
because of the issue of the
Publication. That's right.
publications.
Let's hope it also gets into Tamil, English. You're actually trilingual, no, Anu? You can write English as well.
Not very. I think I can write than speaking or something.
Well, you're doing fine at the moment. So, Anu, I'm going to then repeat the same interview in Sinhala. And because
Hmm.
Atharamadhyava also wants to make people listen to English the way we talk English.
Good, good.
So,
Yes.
and then we'll repeat this
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
Sinhala because the subject matter is very interesting for us in the South. We don't know much about Sri Lankan Tamil writing. So, let me thank you for this.
Yeah.
And I will be connecting again soon with you for the Sinhala interview. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay, bye.